What is that?
T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Liftoff.
Shake it back! Does that feel good? Yeah.
Why do we look so big on my screen?
I know I'm zoomed in.
We are extra large.
We are big. Is that better? Oh, yeah. What's happening, Shaker Makers? My face is big. Welcome to episode 326 of the Shake and Bake Show with Steve Fast Jackson, Courtney Hyde, and it's weird. It's the first time I've said that out loud. And Lyle almost dominated the world, got close as he ever been. Barnett. Hey, there we go.
There it is.
Yep. Hey.
What's up? Missed you guys. I haven't seen y'all in like 8 hours.
For like 2 weeks in a row, we've been together. We've been roommates, basically.
I am raced out, and it takes a lot to get me raced out. I am raced out, completely raced out.
Yeah, Dion was like, why don't you come home and go to the IndyCar race in Arlington with me? I said, let me tell you, the last place I'm going to be this weekend is at any sort of racetrack, fucking anywhere. No.
Period.
End of story. I'm out. I'm going to be in my pajamas. What's up, beer guy?
Beer guy.
It's almost Charlotte time. It's almost beer guy time.
Beer guy time.
Close.
Well, we are coming off an action-packed 3 weeks of drag racing full of surprises, twists, turns, plot changes. Lots to talk about tonight. We got two awesome guests that I am really excited about. I think this is going to be a really fun show.
Yeah, we're going to be on freaking point tonight to get everything in.
Yeah, it's we're gonna have to be gripping and ripping, and it's gonna be fun. So, with no further ado, cue the highs and lows footage. Do. That was fast. I was trying to see ran out of time. Okay.
Start with the lows so that we end high and Lyle can get off of the cliff.
It takes a while. I'm still on the cliff for World Series Promo.
So let's do some lows first. Boys, your lows are lower. Go ahead.
Okay, I'll start first. My low is two-folded and double-edged. Number one is I went 001 red at World Series Pro Mod in the second round. And number two, I shook the tires in E1 in Gainesville in the first run of the year and had to man stone cold dead and pedaled it and didn't get there. Lost by 4.
I gotta say, that pedal job was a lot of people were talking about it behind your back. It was quite impressive.
That was a good one.
The best way, if you pedal a car and nobody really knows what happened, that's when it's good. But like our cars, especially quarter-mile cars, they have no ratio and no power. So if you let it get too far, it's not going to recover. It was one of them deals where I still don't know. Maybe it would have made it. And Lyle can tell you that can explain this to you maybe better than me. We always talk about feeling the car with your butt, feeling the car with the butt. Well, if you're good at pedaling a race car, there's times you're going to pedal a race car and it don't need it. Like a lot of times when it rolls over and shakes, the drive shaft, it's either going to go this or this and make it. I don't know. It may have made it. I don't know. We'll never know.
No, it's tough though. Like, because you'd have no idea, especially at an NHRA track, what you're about to roll into anyway. What's the track look like out there? What's there? Not that there'll be anything on the track, which we can talk about something like something being on the track. But anyway, yeah, it's tough, man. I was watching it from behind and I saw you pedal it and I was kind of like, God dang, he caught that thing kind of early. And then, but I would never second guess whether you thought it was going to shake or not. If you pedaled it, more than likely it was going to shake. So,
it shook. It was just one of them deals that may have made it. I don't know. Well, if you look at the start line from behind, when it left, it washed towards the inside. Then it shook and picked the front end up. I believe that if I had not pedaled it, it would have crossed the center line, like because I couldn't steer.
Yeah.
And you could tell Pierce had that thing tuned up because it still went 249.
Yeah.
She had some candola lit in there for the 660 and beyond, but it is a long season. We're building a house, and just like you can't get upset because one of your brakes fell out. Got a long way to go.
Yep. I had we had a really good World Series Pro Mod, qualified 6th. Had a car that I felt like could win some rounds. And when we woke up Sunday morning, Mother Nature had other ideas. We had a completely different racetrack, completely different conditions. Everybody did, but we just weren't quite ready for it. And I got gap-tized by Peter Norton, went home first round. I had the car to beat at Gainesville. We never aborted a run. I was low for every round of eliminations. Was top speed of the meet in the semis. And I just flat fucked my boys there in the final. I had been exceptionally good on the tree.
I don't want to hear it. You asked whether you be 40 all the time or whether they'd have you go red twice a year, and I guarantee you they're going to tell you to push that thing, go red. Good job, but going to go red 3 times a year. It
just like they did really well. We heard a motor on Friday night. We pushed the electrode of a spark plug in, burn a hole up. The boys worked hard to get the car back together, never skipped a beat. It ran really good. I was 25 in the first round. I was 13 in the second round. I was 006 beside Mike Castellana. I should have made an adjustment on my own to go back to that 25 area, but I figured Derek Minholt was going to be tighter than he was in the final. And that adds insult to injury is when you pick up the time slip and he's 53, which is uncharacteristic of Derek. He didn't mean to do that. He just missed it.
You can't fucking bank on that.
And I can't bank on it, right? He went 69, right? So I didn't have a whole lot of room, but looking at the early numbers, mine was going to run another 70 flat. I just needed to be green, but it's like Stevie, ain't shit you can do about it now, but cry and try not to stop and jump off all the bridges I cross every day. But
and here's what I said, on air too. I've been talking with the whole weekend, right? You were chosen to drive that car for a reason, and your reaction time ability is a big part of that. And with that comes that. And I said it after I said it, I was like, oh shit, I got to go home with these boys. When I said on the thing, you live by it, you die by it, buddy. That's that is the way that it goes.
You're right. And I just, there's 100 things now I wish I would have done, right? Took another 2 or 3 pounds out of the fronts or.
Okay, would you rather lose on a whole shot than 3 red?
Absolutely not. 3 red, I was just right there close and hit it hard. You get beat on a whole shot, and I probably wouldn't be here tonight.
We'd still be walking around I-75 somewhere.
Yeah, but we had I can't complain, though. We had a really good weekend, runner-up first race of the year, and I hopefully have a pretty big announcement coming. It won't be on the show because we won't have a show before then, but it looks like I'm going to get the chance to race some more NHRA this year and could possibly see me in Phoenix.
Hell yeah, my guy.
So we'll see. I immediately got on the radio and apologized to the guys, and I had sent Billy a text message before I got back to the trailer and then called him. He's like, what the fuck are you apologizing for?
Yeah, you made it to the finals of the first race as a replacement driver. And what was crazy is Derek up there, Derek Putnam, the other announcer who announced sportsman stuff, he was always there when Jason and I were there. And when I'd said that you drive anything, everything, and he went back and was like tallying, and when I said the 8th car you've driven this year, it's more.
So I did. I mean, it's only one different, but it's actually the 9th.
Is it really?
I forgot I'd driven King Cartuccio's car testing
during testing.
And that's 9 that I've driven this year.
So that's also something to say, and I'm going to stop being nice to you in a minute, but something to say for how quickly you adapt. Like when you tested Erica's car the other day, first whacking it, you were 15. Like that's just you're pretty good. You're pretty good.
Pretty good at this. Wow.
Mike can make a living.
Make a living on one of these things. it's pretty cool watching you do it. It was heartbreaking for me, but it was cool to see you go up there and swing at it. A lot of times guys fall apart in the final. And it's pretty cool to watch you swing at it.
So I'm gonna swallow a little crow here. I talked a lot of shit about people staging blower cars with a bump button.
Now you love it, don't you?
I fucking love it, man.
It's thing rolling burnouts for Lyle.
No.
Come say that into the camera.
That is so gay.
Well, listen, I thought so too. And when I was testing Billy's car, I spent all day Tuesday testing the way that I normally drive with the foot brake and throwing the chutes with the handle. And that's a McCamus car. So the parachute handle is not perpendicular, parallel to the roof. So it kind of sweeps. And I didn't like it. So on Wednesday testing, I staged it with the bump button and I used the button for the chute. I will never use a button for a chute ever again.
That's
but
terrible.
I did stage it with the bump button, and like I was consistently very shallow, and I immediately was. I think when I started staging it with a bump button, the worst light I had, which was the first one, was 30, and then the worst light after that was 25, and then I was teens or 00. So I'm gonna have to eat it on that one. I think it's the way to do it.
I think if you would do some rolling burnouts, it's the same. You might like it the same way. You may be like, man, I got this wheel speed and the car's not washing out. You never know.
Nah, man, I've seen some guys pile them into the wall just past the Christmas tree doing that. I'm good.
Donald Moore, thank you. And yes, Pro Mod is in Chicago. It's going to be fun. Hopefully we don't get blown away by a Tasmanian dust storm again this year.
Yeah, that was pretty wild.
Craziest shit ever. What about you? What's your low there?
My low, it's broad. I have to figure out how to balance my life because when I get home from weeks like this, I'm so exhausted. I can't function for 2 days. Like my low is I am dead to the world for way longer than I should be after this. It's mentally draining. It's physically draining. It's emotionally draining. And I got to figure something out. I am running. What did I say? Burning the candle at both ends.
Running on empty. Dun-dun-dun.
So my low is that I literally laid down for 15 minutes at 6:45 and could have slept for the rest of the night. But I'm just struggling to balance all my life's problems. I don't have a specific low, but I'm just fucking tired. I am tired.
Hard. Well, my high, it's going to sound like I'm tooting my own horn, but definitely was having the majority of the field in Gainesville running our power. We had 31% of the field running KTR power, the most we've ever had, and we're the most represented manufacturing competition. Whoa. And that's definitely a high for me. So watching my guys like get all fired up every time a KTR powered car comes around the corner is pretty good. What sucked is we didn't qualify right, and we all raced each other first round.
Yeah, I did.
Stan had Sydney, I had Kevin, and Justin's car had a transmission fluid leak. So it was 3 of us got nailed in the first round. So definite high was that though.
Lobby.
Well, my high was directly related to my low, but just having a really good week in Gainesville. Never driven Billy's car until Tuesday, and we ended up taking it to the final. And like I said, we were low for every round of eliminations, top speed of the meet. And my guys worked hard. We hurt some stuff, and they worked right through it and gave me a car that could have won. So pretty good week for us.
What about you, C?
My high, World Series was awesome, all the things. But NHRA this weekend, I got to call 2 rounds of Pro Mod with Brian Loans, which was awesome. I was going to be up there alone, which I was really nervous about. And he saw me from the Fox booth next door. And I thought he was coming to save me. And he may have been, but he said that he really loves Pro Mod. Honestly, he does. He is a huge Pro Mod fan.
He does love it.
That was his time off for that day. And he came over to call it with me. That was really cool. Calling a race with the greatest person to call a race ever just puts it on another level. And I wanted the class to keep going. I did not want it to stop. I was having so much fun. And then getting to do a couple of rounds with Bob Fry also. Like, I was at the top end and he was at the tower for the first one, but I can talk and communicate back. And when they tossed it to me, we were kind of starting to joke because, Bob's sense of humor back in the day was really witty and funny and sharp, and he would poke fun at people. And so he kind of did it to me a little, and then he made a mistake tossing it to me because they didn't used to do that. And so I said something like, "Oh, it's okay, Bob. We know you're new here. You'll get the hang of it." And so then we started chirping, and it was just so cool. We had such a good jive going, and he came over to the pit and was just so complimentary and telling me that it's rare to have that kind of wit that you can kind of bounce with. And so then on Sunday, being in the booth and getting to wear the 75th red jackets with Galvin, it's a special thing that I get to be a small part of, and what we saw on the racetrack, which we're going to talk about later, added to that. But I think there's some really special stuff brewing in the NHRA right now, and being like looking back on this weekend and the fact that they allow me to do that and be such a voice and such a huge part of it. And my first week calling Pro Mod and all of that. Who said that?
So Celine.
Oh,
Celine.
People are snapping Spencer saying bump buttons are gay. Yeah, it was a really humbling moment to be a part of that. And I am very proud of what I did this weekend.
I think that you did fantastic. And everyone that I talked to said that you did fantastic. It was pretty good. My crew chief, Jeff Pierce, when he found out Bob Fry was there, he's like, "I am fanboying Bob Fry." He's like, "I'm going to go get an autograph."
Totally.
So that's some pressure in the booth up there. I know that we're going to get to Gainesville, but before we get guests on, I want to talk about two things, and then we'll get down the road. And we're going to do a full Gainesville recap in a little bit. But I want to give a huge shout out to Justin Bond and all of the staff at JBS for coming on board as our title sponsor in NHRA Pro Mod. It's a big commitment. The Pro Mod entity is not his business. He does farm machinery, but seeing how we can connect businesses that are out of industry and use Pro Modified to bridge those gaps and build those businesses is pretty awesome. And I want to give a huge shout out to Richard Freeman and all the folks at Elite Motorsports that stepped up to be presenting sponsor of NHRA Pro Mod. It's not lost on us that the majority team owner in Pro Stock is wanting to get involved in Pro Mod, and that's a really cool deal. Yep.
I think that with JBS, all that goes without question that was awesome. But I think that's something that we got to think about with Richard's involvement is what happened with Mountain Motor, right? Like they couldn't agree with the NHRA on rules. There was a bunch of things. And for some reason, as difficult as that motherfucker is, he seems to speak whatever language is in the room and be able to help communicate things that can be said in different ways. And the NHRA understands him. The NHRA listens to him. And to be frank, they don't want to hear it from him. So they do what he says a lot. And I really think that he will be not only an asset, obviously, for getting us off and running monetarily, but I think that he's going to be a really good ally to whatever y'all want, because this is rare where this isn't one of his babies, right? Like he's got one car in it, but that's majority Justin, and he makes a lot of those calls. But this is something that he loves, but isn't directly, monetarily involved with of a lot of this shit. So I think that he'll be a voice of reason and at least be able to communicate what y'all's voice of reason is to the NHRA.
Well, it's a good to have another success. So Pro Mod's built by successful business owners. I mean, we all have jobs and businesses. We leave the track and all of us go work. Most of us have employees. It's really good to have someone that has successful business and knows how to, I don't want to say hold NHRA to the fire, but knows how to communicate in a way that some of us don't, because some of us are just really too direct, and NHRA sometimes doesn't like that. So it's going to be good. I'm really fired up about this year.
I want to, while we're talking about Pro Mod, seen a couple comments about NHRA needs to televise TV, all that stuff. I want to better explain what's going on here. So there was a fork in the road where could have taken. You could fight and even pay for and become basically the fifth wheel of what is the Mission Foods situation. There's a lot to fight through for it. I'm not even saying that was a full option yet. and be told what to do, be told where to go, be told how many seconds are going to be on the TV show. Like, look at Pro Stock. Pro Stock's been a class with them for a long time. We don't get a lot of votes. We don't get a lot of TV time. We don't get anything. Or you kind of sink into the situation that you're in. You own your own class. You get to pick your own talent. You get to handle your own sponsors. You get a mega hand. What NHRA is doing this year to kind of offset that is they're going to be streaming some of the sessions live on YouTube. This weekend was horrible. I will speak for it in a minute. There was some major truck issues, audio on the full NHRA.tv, a couple of camera issues. There was lightning almost every single day. When there's lightning, they are legally bound to shut down certain cameras. So there was some stuff, but when it comes to that, it's going to be live on YouTube, and they're giving ProMod the class the access to their own runs, which seems crazy that other classes don't have it, but they don't, because Fox owns what happens on the racetrack. And so I think if you follow NHRA ProMod on all the social fronts, you'll see what was a very good start. It was just a start, but it was a very good start to getting to do our own thing with on-track footage. We got Kyle from Straight Line Media out there, allowed to film, allowed to immediately post those runs, does not have to be the clipped version or wait for them to send you anything. And then having people like me and even you, Stevie, presenting the number one qualifier stuff. We're going to have some other things up our sleeve that we met about today. Having control of your own destiny and being able to create and make your class whatever you want it to be is in the situation that they're in. So TV is one thing, but I just, in this day and age, I don't think that it would get you the oomph and the bang for the buck that you need to really get to that next step. Whereas eyeballs, impressions, and awareness this way can.
Yeah, and we're going to talk about the YouTube deal when we get down there. But while we're on the subject, since you mentioned it, ProMod for the first time ever was streamed live on the YouTube channel. I'm going to read you some stats right there. There you got it. 1,391,000 views in 7 days. Okay, this is the first time we've done that. That's a big deal right there.
Very big deal.
You know, I would be curious to know what the NHRA TV live stats stacked up, globally with the organization versus that. But really proud of our guys.
Yeah, we'll be getting those numbers Thursday.
Yeah, really proud of our fans. Like, thank you guys for watching ProMod. Like, when you guys watch ProMod and you do that, you're helping us. I know you think you're sitting at home and just watching us do it, but that's how we sell sponsors. You liking and subscribing that stuff, that's how it works. Like, that's how we get the money to do it. So that's a big deal.
Yep. Yeah, and I just wanted to clarify that. I'll get off my tangent there soon. And it's not because I work at NHRA, yada, yada. Me working there helped get that for sure. But I think if you're patient, you watch and you help participate, that the buzz online was Maddi Gordon, Awesome Proc, and ProMod, period. That's it. So I think that we're riding a wave, and especially coming out of World Series of ProMod, which is a good transition. People like Jimmy Dale and Victor Alvarez and others saying things on Facebook on Friday like, maybe I should go quarter mile racing. Like, it was a really cool thing where ProMod for 2 weeks was at the front of the game.
I concur. Well, with that, do y'all want to dive into World Series of ProMod? We got a super smoky guest. You want to just dive in there? World Series of ProMod was very exciting, well attended, and it's always a great race. We're going to cover all the nuances, but before we get to that, let's bring on special guest, the man himself, Aaron Stanfield.
There he is.
What's up, guys?
/ have helmet will travel.
Absolutely. I drive for food.
Yeah, Lyle too.
Yeah, I do.
It's a tough life, ain't it, Lyle?
Sometimes it can be. Never know when you're going to end up at the Mexican restaurant.
What'd you say?
Are you in Wynwood?
No, I'm in my backyard because the inside of my house can turn into a zoo with 2 wild kids, 2 dogs, and I figured in Jolie we won't. She's just trying to keep the peace, but it could get a little wild in there. So,
can you put for Phoenix Aaron on your door window?
I need. Aaron. Well, I've been called that my whole life, so I guess it would make sense, huh?
Aaron. You know the meme I'm talking about, where the
yeah. You done messed up, Aaron.
A cool thing like that, it would definitely be on there.
I think we also put a World Series of ProMod champ just friggin' right on the back window.
Yeah, wow. And then they gotta talk about it for sure. Well, what did you think? That's your first time in a pro mod, or you have driven them? Tell the folks from home where you came from. What do you race? What do you like to do? How did you end up where you ended up?
Yep. So, starting off racing, I've driven a lot of different types of race cars and different types of racing, and starting off in my career was just mainly bracket racing, and obviously grown up around the pro stock world, and found myself in the past few years racing pro stock, and the Winter Series was my very first time, literally even sitting in a pro mod car. So never even sat in one. So
I just look back.
uh, I wouldn't say wouldn't say that. You guys know how hard they are to drive, and I mean they're violent cars, and they're not for the novice for sure. I think a pro stock car is similar handling as far as being a tube car and of that nature, but that pro mod car is just so much faster. The sensation is way faster than a pro stock car, and maybe I'm just used to it, but um anyways, that was the first time getting to compete in one, so it was a lot of fun. I think I had some things go my way. I think I did my job when I needed to do it, and
You did.
it was a heck of an experience, man. Just the amount of competition is just unreal. So many great cars. I mean, I missed the second race by 2 or 3 thousandths of qualifying. I mean, there was people in the B race outrunning people in the main race of that last one. I mean, absolutely incredible competition. I think that the track definitely, that was probably one of the more trickier tracks that we got through the 3 race series. And I definitely think it shook it up a little bit. So um, it was just awesome experience coming out, mixing up some new faces, and I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card.
No,
JT
there's
definitely did not.
there's
Yeah,
a
JT definitely didn't. But he's gonna pay for that.
Look at
There's
that.
a-
The whole fam bam was there.
Yeah, man. It
there's
was
an
awesome.
in-car video of you. It was either the third round or the semifinals when you pedaled the car twice
Yep.
and still got it to the finish line first. And like, dude, I mean, it takes. There was people out there been racing pro mod for decades that couldn't do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you called it once, it was not right. You called it again and took that thing to the finish line. It was fucking awesome.
That was
It shit's
that
hard.
was some Richard Freeman in my ear right there saying, "Get this motherfucker
Yeah.
down the racetrack."
No,
Yep.
The one
Oh.
thing about the racetrack that we had on race day is it not only does it shake things up, but it really showcases race car drivers from steering wheel holders for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Molly
know-
says she's got a video.
Oh,
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
look at Oakley. Oakley's passed out. Rowdy is being rowdy.
They were having a great time. Oakley grabbed a handful of the cash and she said, "Daddy's got a lot of money. He's gonna have to buy me something."
That one picture, Molly, the one where, yes,
Yeah,
you are
that's
so screwed.
that looks about right.
Also, can you go back to the one where I was spraying champagne directly in his face?
Yeah, right in my eyeball.
I really
by the
don't think
way.
that it was mine that got it. There was Wes right there, but it was definitely because right when we were about to spray, CT was like, "Not on the car." So everyone went directly to Aaron, and it was bad.
Yeah, the getting it off of the car is a enormous pain. I will tell you that Dawn works the best. Dawn in a spray bottle is the best
Yeah.
way to get the paint off the car.
Yep. Well,
But like, how often do you get a winner circle like that, right?
oh man.
Squirt champagne on my car in every winter circle. I'll rewrap it.
Now, Courtney, you do know how to make a winter circle fun, at an NHRA race. But there's been nothing like that. They know how to, they really know how to celebrate the racers and not just the people who win. Wes and the Drag Illustrated crew. I think the whole pro mob world's on to something big. I think everybody sees it. I'm just super blessed, super grateful to be a part of it. And hopefully I get to, mix it up again one day.
I
Don't
would
know.
say you've solidified that, buddy.
Yeah.
Don't know when, don't know where, but
What are the odds of a here and there cameo in NHRA Pro Mod.
I'm definitely.
there?
I'm not going to exit out. The big challenge is I didn't get any quarter mile runs at that. At the winter series. So got to go. I think I got to make a couple quarter mile passes to, finish off the license. So, but
won't be any problem. You'll be fine.
yeah.
I will say this: after I left the winter series and got in the car for Gainesville testing at the 3:30, I thought the motor was broke. I was like, "What's wrong here? Like, what's happening?" And then I realized that we have no power. And we have no gear and we have no hope.
You were still in a Pro Mod car. I hopped back in the Pro Stock car. I said, "Man, we're moving slow
you put it in
here."
high gear and all your work's done. You're like, "What now?"
Yeah, yep. Moving slow here. Looking around. I'll say that the first, especially the first few runs, man, in the Pro Mod car, I didn't quite have the headrest set right. That thing popped my head back. I was looking out the bottom of the helmet. And Lau, I got to bring this up here. You gave me some great wisdom. Great wisdom before getting in. You said, "All right, look, here's the main things you need to know. Don't crank it up wide open, all that good stuff," and all great things. And I agree 100%. And go and hop in the Pro Charger car the first couple runs, it won't crank up. You know what the first thing they tell me to do?
Put it to the floorboard.
Put it to the floorboard.
On it real fast.
I said, hang on a second.
Well, I told you that when you're in the screw car, though. Then they flip the script on you.
Yeah, they flipped the script on me a little bit. So, but after we figured out how to crank it up, we were good to go.
Oh man.
Riddle me this. So I said this on the mic too, right? Like, you've won world championships. You're the only one to win Indy 2 classes on the same day, which I still think was not made a big enough deal of when you did that. For some reason, when you won this race, like, I don't think I'm putting words in your mouth. You said it, and watching your wife's reaction, right? Like, we've seen your family's reaction when you win races, and it's cool and it's all the things. But like, there's something different about the World Series of Pro Mod, even from US Street, even from, Snowbirds. Those are incredible. But why was that one so special to Jolie and to you? And why do you think that one, not that it's better or bigger or whatever, but just in a combination of your career, like, some people may say like, "Oh, well, that's not as big as Indy."
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. If you look, if you're thinking about the history of NHRA, and Indy's obviously the one to win, right? But we're in a new age, new time, right? And I've held these races in to myself in a very high regard. And sitting watching Erica race them, the year before, it definitely, and kind of getting some inside knowledge on it, definitely put a hunger in me that, man, I really want to do this. And just the competition, man. You got badass drivers crossing over, from top fuel ranks to pro stock ranks to, all walks of life of racing, street outlaws, PDRA, all the above, all coming to one place and seeing who comes out on top. I think, who wouldn't hold that at a high regard? There was some badass racing going on, and, and especially the scenario, not having much experience in it, really, I think I had shook the tires one time, through that whole deal before first round, so that was my first attempt at pedaling it. It was just, it felt good. It felt like an accomplishment for sure. And, I think,
I fell to my knees thinking, God, he didn't hit anything.
Yeah, definitely, definitely got to thank everybody here. And she's definitely a big one here. She's watched enough Pro Mod cars bounce off the walls to get nervous about, her husband hopping in one of the monsters. And, there was definitely some nerve-wracking moments, I'm sure, for her, but I'm sure she was. My main goal was to not hit anything. We ended up winning the damn race. So,
what about Beer Guy's comment? Having drove both, which is more fun? I already know what you're going to say because I get asked the same thing about radio and promo, but I'll let you answer.
I don't care what it is. If it's got four wheels and tires, put me in it. I want to freaking get in it, and I want to win. I don't care what it is. If it's pro stock, pro mod, top fuel, funny car, I would even say a bike, but I might get made fun of. But we'll stick to four wheels. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what it is. I want a shot. I want a shot at it, and I want to go out there and showcase what I have slept, and breathed since I was a very young kid. Watching pro stock and watching pro mod on the ropes. So I think there's no way I can answer that.
Kind of off topic of your experience. I noticed this is on our agenda to talk about. Still a massive field, but we did lose 20 cars this race on average. What are your guys' thought about that?
I'll let some people fill in that with some more experience, and then I'll give my 2 cents on it.
I'm the most ignorant in the room, so I'll go first. I just from interviews and talking to people, I think that how tight the field is, even from 1 to 50, right? Like anybody can be right in there. It was so tight. I think that if you're on that 64 to 90 bubble, that it kind of being the World Series of Pro Mod, I think that it kind of turned a couple of people away.
Yeah, I'm not sure who wasn't there. I'm sure there's a list somewhere of people that had been there throughout the other 2 races in the Winter Series and who didn't show up for the World Series. But I agree with Courtney. I think if you're a mid-60s player and you're coming down there and going to have to run personal best by a long shot to even qualify, and I think that the World Series and the U.S. streets are close enough together that some of these guys just flat don't want to spend the money to travel down there simply for the aforementioned reason, right? If we're just there a month ago, you're going to have to come back down there. No, you're probably not going to be able to qualify. I think that turns some away. And then, we're getting back into the new school year and we're getting closer to the start of their respective seasons, and the rules are maybe a little different. And I think there's a handful of reasons why, but I would probably say it's more so that, knowing that they probably can't qualify us enough to keep them home.
Too, the Sheltons getting ready for NHRA.
Right. And that's, yeah.
We lost Dimitri. He didn't think Alex showed up to World Series of Pro Mod. So yeah, that divide too.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a negative thing at all to say we lost 20 and we still have 70 or 60.
Yeah.
I believe that it's a little bit of that. U.S. Street just happened. There's a lot of teams that come run this because it's a really cool race, and it's very expensive to go to these races, like very, very expensive to go to the Winter Series. So that combined with being very close to, like you said, Midwest starting up, PDRA starting up, NHRA starting up, and I think that's it. I had a customer, and this is our next thing on our agenda, meet with me at Gainesville, said, hey, I want to go to World Series of Pro Mod next year. Will you run the car for me? I was like, what do you want to run? And he said, a nitrous car. And I said, no. I said, I'll run it for you somewhere else, but I'm not beating my head against that wall. It's just too fast. It's too hard. It's not happening. Not happening.
The Franklins from last year too, those two.
This is a good question, Brad. Really, it's really hard because the field is faster than what the combination is capable of running. So the only thing you can do is make the cars lighter. A lot of guys that drive nitrous cars are big guys. It's hard to get the thing to weight. It really is. What I think you can do to fix nitrous racing, this is going to be a good thing. Aaron can be on here and give me some advice. Let me tell you what needs to happen. This is Stevie J KTR advice. We need to abandon 5.3s. We need to abandon 5.4s, and we need to abandon 5.5s and build a 5.6 four-space engine. We need to cap the bore and stroke size. Stop people from putting enormous crankshafts in them. You still get 1,000 cubic inches, and you can do it with a big bore and a short stroke. Crankshafts last 3 times as long. It's twice as cheap to race. The thing will make another 500 to 600 horsepower. It'll run in the mid to bottom 50s, and then it can bring that back. I know it's a massive R&D front. It obsoletes everybody's nitrous engines that they have now, but the 5.3 engine came out in 2011, and it's time to make a bigger nitrous engine, and you got to get the crankshafts out of them. The reason a nitrous car is so hard to race is because to make the engine big, when you're limited at a 12.6 deck height and a 5,300 bore space, you have to make the crankshaft a bastard bore to stroke ratio. Cranks last 20 runs, pistons last 5 to 6, and every time you see one of those cars running the top 5, the heads have to come off. So what I think we need to do, and I'm old, I won Pro Nitrous Championship, so I know a little bit about it. 5,600 bore space, mandatory bore and stroke size. Do not let us spend $10 billion doing it again. Parts availability is everywhere. Everybody's got the same crank. Everybody's got the same piston. It'll come back. That's what
I second that 100%. There's no, the old saying is there's no replacement for displacement, right? Like gotta get some cubic inch in it, and the you know, when you start getting a whole bunch of stroke in it, just makes it harder on parts. So I think that's a great idea.
Do you know how good a 1,000 cubic inch engine would run if the thing had a 5.5 inch bore, 5,400 or whatever it ended up being? You know, with a normal stroke crankshaft, you can rev the thing up to 9,500, 9,000. It would be pretty cool.
I think that's a great idea, and that it would be hard to make. It'd be very difficult to make a nitrous car run otherwise.
Yep.
In my little experience with it.
Yeah, they're just very maintenance intense. It is a combination run. So next thing we got is conditions. It was very tough conditions. Awesome race. The heat and rain on the race day really threw us for a curve. We talked a little bit about that. It was definitely a pedaling man's race for the first several rounds. It looked like the centrifugal in those conditions normally runs very well when the track is loose. What did you guys think about the race? I had a lot of fans come up and tell me they loved it. Like, they're like, you know, you guys are driving those cars and out there driving them. I had to pedal mine twice and he won to get the win. What did you guys think about the curveball that we all got for race day?
Well, I think it's pretty standard for down there. We race there all week. Conditions are normally pretty decent. Have some really good night runs where everybody hauls ass. There's always one, maybe two runs that qualify the field, right? If you miss the Friday night run or whatever, you know, go up there and shake, or it drives towards the center line or something, you have to step off. You may not qualify, and all that stuff's cool. But I do hate that it never fails that Sunday rolls around and it is a complete change of events. Like, we get straight sunshine, the track is shitty, and no, this is not a shot at Wade by any means, right? Like, it just goes from a very manageable racetrack to something that you just kind of got what you got.
And then it was 1,000 degrees the second
right.
the sun.
You know, and there's absolutely nothing that Wade could do. He gave us the best track that he could give us, and we had to go out there and try to figure it out. And there were some cars that made some really good runs, you know, like Peter Norton, who Aaron beat in the finals there. Like, I mean, I don't think that car aborted a single run on race day. I think he ran mid to low 60s on every single run. He went 65 beside me in the first round when I would say 85% of the field didn't make the trip, you know. So
zero screw cars made down the track in the first or second round. I don't know after that. I don't think there was any left after that, but zero. That loose converter definitely
against Spencer.
What? Oh, he went down the track.
We were 65.
Yeah, we had one. We had one. But it's that loose racetrack definitely plays into the loose.
That's the way this race always does it, right? We always say that there's always a random story that wins this deal, and I think that the conditions of not doing first round Saturday night like we did at the other ones, just making first round kind of a free for all. It's a part of the page that writes the story, right?
Yep.
Let's read this comment real quick. So I heard a rumor in Gainesville that Erica was actually nervous to drive her Pro Mod car because he was so fast. What do we think of that?
I think that's the very, 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 very comical.
The only reason, and because I talked to her about it, the only reason she was nervous is she had never driven one with a Linko in it.
Yeah.
But so she was like, what if I go up there and look like an idiot? And I'm like, you're not going to look like an idiot. You can drive a pro stock car.
And then I tried the same thing, and I said, Erica, you drive a car with 3 pedals that you shift 4 times. You'll be fine. Like, you're going to be just fine. Like, you drive a real racing car.
No,
yeah, I did a very poor job, like I did with Aaron, on giving her advice on how to drive it. I was like,
it worked out fine with me, Lyle. You
can't put your foot on the brake. You know, you got to do this. And finally, I think Todd Tutterow came over and told her that the trans brake is your clutch pedal.
And then it was.
And from then on, she was like, oh. And then you would never know that she had never driven one before. She looks like she's done it for years.
Well, I was like this. Oh.
Oh.
Oh. Hey, and Aaron, I heard that you in your NHRA media day. So one of the questions was, who would you want of any active driver to be your Uber driver? And what was your answer?
Well, they said who on the Elite Motorsports team, who would be your Uber driver and who wouldn't? Well, given Lyle's experience with Erica behind the wheel, flying over roundabouts, I was like, probably not Erica, even though it'd probably be a fun experience. But I was looking at some of those roundabouts, man, it looked like some of them could end bad.
It doesn't end bad when you clear it.
Team wide, we've standardized the roundabouts as every time we come up, we're like, don't Erica this deal, because we're driving to Florida and I'm driving my whole team to dinner in my truck and they think I'm approaching the roundabout too fast. And they're like, don't Erica this deal now.
What's funny, Lyle, is that we had joked after this happened, before I knew about it. We had joked about drive-through. She never even
said a
mentioned
thing.
She was going to take it to the grave.
So, Brad, there's no way that we could ever replicate how Lyle told this story the first time. Was that 2 episodes ago? I want to say it was episode 76. If you whatever you missed, because you watch all the time, you have to go back and watch that. It was absolutely insane. And then we went past one that y'all cleared, Lyle, that you almost RIP'd on. And Spencer was like, I can see how this could happen. So he just drove right over it at a slow pace. And we had people honking that were doing the actual roundabout. I'm like, oh my Lord, this is where we go. But it's funny. The question that they asked Spencer in there was, if you go to jail, who would you call to bail me out? And he said, not Erica, because she won't answer her phone. So there's a lot of not Ericas.
Oh, God.
I hope she's watching.
Go ahead.
She always gets on to me because I don't answer my phone.
I've learned how you work. And then I just text Jolie.
I just call
Before we get off the World Series of Pro Mod, there was a lot of hullabaloo about the rule changes that came in before the race. Centrifugals got 20, I think 10 or 20 pounds. What do you guys think where we're at in Winter Series 8th mile parity now? Like good, bad, indifferent?
I mean, if you look at the qualifying sheet, it was probably looked okay. I mean, Eric Gustafson and them took 40 pounds and shoved it right up our ass again. So I don't know if I really know. I mean, 40 pounds is a whack, and I didn't seem to really hurt them too much. So I don't know if that's necessarily still out of bounds or not. We got 20. The centrifugal cars did, myself and Aaron. And obviously it took him right to the winner's circle. So, and I don't know if you can base any of the parity on Sunday, be it, considering the track conditions that we were working with.
Yeah.
Right.
So I think the track condition probably would have made it a little tricky to make any type of good assessment of that.
When the white car went 60 flat in E1, I was blown away. I was like, oh my God. I was like, we have nothing for that. I pedaled it and went 78 or 9, but like if we were trying to run 68, you know what I mean? Like we were trying to do that. And then it went 61 the next round. I was like, holy shit.
Spencer, what did Kenny Lane go?
He went 66.
66.
That was a great run. Like we were trying to go 64, 65, and it didn't make it.
Yeah.
I same thing, pedaled and went 77 or something like that. Like you went 72. See.
Oh yeah, pedaled and went 72. I gave her a little slap-a-rooski.
You did.
But curious to see what comes down the pipe. We got 8-9 months to talk about it. We're actually converting all the cars in our shop to centrifugal right now. They're converting one right there 10 feet away from me. So we're going to quit fighting the battle and jump on the wagon.
We still had Aaron because we got 10 minutes before Maddi comes on. We can kind of start our post or our good Lord, words are hard.
Blah, blah, blah.
Great coverage. Yeah. told you I was exhausted. Our NHRA stuff with Aaron's perspective, because I think that things are changing in the NHRA. I think we're kind of going into a new situation here. We're going to talk about Maddi before she even gets on here, because if you didn't see or hear her like that, you need to check your pulse. But Aaron, your dad was kind of the like wow moment of the last bit of qualifying, and then I think you not going some rounds was a little bit of that too. So talk about your NHRA roller coaster.
Yeah, well, I just flat out got my ass kicked.
You did.
Yeah, and that's how racing goes. Sometimes it's 0 to 0, and snap of a finger. But in qualifying, we missed the important qualifying run. We hurt an engine, and just luck of the draw. We didn't quite have. We didn't know that until literally Pro Stock was running. So no, nobody's fault. Just unfortunate scenario, and we move on and got by first round, and man, I just couldn't get on the tree, and I feel like the round I had against the eventual race winner, he was very beatable there, and just didn't quite get the job done, and that's how it goes sometimes. Is go beat my head against the wall and move on.
You and Lyle can beat your heads against each other.
Yep, and Lyle, he had a heck of a weekend, man. I thought he was going to seal the deal. He was driving great, had a fast hot rod, and you live and die by it sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately.
But-
Do you feel though, because I got this question a lot, right? You don't really know how it shakes out until you get there. And Friday night was a good teller of it. But do you feel like you guys are at least a little bit ahead of where you were, or bridging the gap, or even on the same playing field? Or what are your thoughts of just the team as a whole walking away from Gainesville?
100%. I think collectively as a group, we are way closer. My car, we heard an engine Q1. We changed the engine for Q3, Q4. We weren't happy with it, and we rolled into first round with a different engine. So, we were kind of, I wasn't driving great, and we were trying to get the hot rod moving in the right direction. And still, even with that, I don't feel like we ran terrible at all. And I think my dad definitely showed glimmers of some serious hope.
That first
Um,
55 was like
yeah,
jaw
that,
dropping.
that run in the heat was pretty wild. The guys have been working super hard on some shocks, and
Oh no.
in the engine
You're
shop,
muted.
and it really showed there. So
And then also what happened at the NHRA race, watching the car that you won the World Series of Pro Mod in go on to win the race too. That had to have felt like just a little connection to it, right?
yeah, there was definitely some connection. Definitely, I was very unbiased there because I love to see Lyle do good. He's a wheel man like no other. And of course Derek's a great guy, and the whole Scott Tidwell camp. And man, I partial to that car. That was the first time I ever got to race it, and we won. So yeah, gonna be a little partial to it. So
Good car.
it's a good
It was
car.
cool to get to talk about that too, like as the Pro Mod announcer. And then even when you came up, I was just waiting for the producer in my ear to be like, stop talking about the Winter Series during the Mission Foods deal. But I think it's relevant. And I think that it's the more we know about what the drivers are doing when we're not here is better.
Yeah, I think
Top
so.
level drag racing, both sides of it.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So
While we're talking about World Series Pro Mod, I want to give a huge shout out to Scott Tidwell, Brandon Stroud, and that team taking a car with a driver who's never driven a Pro Mod and beating the 60 of the best Pro Mod drivers in the world, and then the very following week winning the season opener in Gainesville with the same car I don't know that I've ever seen anything like that. So they did a great job. Quite
impressive. I know Chris Terry and all the guys, and Spencer and Travis and Kelly. We had a great crew. It gave me a lot of confidence. Chris Terry was great to work with. And hats off to him, man. He told me that was his first, kind of on his own Pro Mod victory. We got to share that together. That was pretty dang special. He's a great person, and I think he's and he I'm sure he knows this. He's going to be a star in our sport, in the crew chief world, and I'm super happy for him. And happy I got to experience that with them.
Yeah, they did awesome. Had a great race. That was great.
So like the next time somebody needs a pro mod driver, Molly, go ahead and put that picture up on the screen. Maybe this will happen and you'll answer the call.
Here we go. I got
Lyle's got a cape like that too. They send up the Lyle signal and Lyle smokes on in and gets the one.
Yeah.
Here I come.
There's a large Team Elite Batman Aaron Stanfield thing going on there. So Chase texted me and I had to
I don't know how it happens, but I got stickers. I have a tuning book for the Pro Stock car. I've got stickers on every damn page of the tuning book. Got it on my shift light. Can't even read with. Good thing I don't look at the tack because there's Batman stickers all over it.
Inside your old jacket, right?
It's got Batman patch, Batman doll. And it's not. I've never even watched Batman, so
it makes it even better. That makes it better.
Yeah.
Well, we've already asked you the fajita question, right? So that was it.
Hey, Lyle, and just a funny story here. We went and ate fajitas the other day, and everybody at the table got fajitas, and we all left smelling like butthole. And I was like, man,
I love a good Mexican.
Man, he's right. You're like, he's right.
Yeah. I said, man, he's right. Those clothes are ruined.
And everyone talks about Lyle. When one person orders fajitas, the entire table talks about Lyle, and it's like, bah.
Yeah.
Grant,
for Phoenix, I'm gonna wear it around all the time in case Lyle shows up.
Australian Grant sent me a video. They were eating fajitas either last night or the night before, and my response to him was, "Tell me you're not getting laid tonight without telling me you're not getting laid tonight."
Yeah, I'm gonna eat fajitas.
Well, then go to bed lonely.
Smells like butthole.
T-shirt right there. Order fajitas, go to bed lonely.
That is a pretty good T-shirt. That one's so good in the merch trailer.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait to talk about this trailer.
We there she is. We have somebody backstage that we're gonna bring on here in a minute, but I want to get your opinion on this, Aaron. Did you get to watch or see any of the fiasco?
The Maddi Gordon effect.
Yeah, man. It was awesome. To go out in your debut and have a day like that, that's something to be super proud of. And of course her reaction, man, it was priceless. I mean, you can't make those moments up. And I know how special they feel, and just to see the emotion, super cool. It's tough for me to draw up that much emotion, and to see somebody just let it all out like that, and to have such a great day. I think she's got a very bright future, in NHRA drag racing, and anything she wants to race, she's going to be a star in our sport. And I'm excited. I'm a fan. I'm excited to see where it goes.
Oh, speaking of too, as we're on Top Fuel, any update? I saw a couple in the comments. Any update on when you'll hop in one of those missiles?
Well, first I gotta wash my fire suit because y'all ruined that thing. That's the one I was planning on using.
Get all that champagne out of there.
Yeah. But yeah, I think step number one was get a team together and go out and get Tony and the team moving in the right direction. And I think Gainesville was a great example of we've got a great group of guys on the Top Fuel program too. And I think they, for their first race with all brand new equipment, had a great race. And I think this is that was step number one. And Eric and I will be in there soon getting our license. And but for now we're kind of both really paying attention, really soaking it in. I've watched. Before I got in a pro mod car, before I sat in one, I've watched a lot of people race them. So I've watched mistakes and although I might have not felt it inside the car myself, I know what it's supposed to look like, and that helps a lot. And the same thing goes for the Top Fuel car. I've never really been around it, so it's good for me to kind of take some time and really soak it in and see how it all works. And I'm super pumped up, man. Who wouldn't want to go 340 miles an hour? Are you kidding me?
I do. Yeah.
I'm good.
I tell them strap me in tight, and pat me on my back and say let her rip. So I'm ready to go on that, and I know Erica is, and we're both we're both eager to get that experience and just see where it takes us. I'd love to drive a top fuel and a pro stock car at the same race.
That'd be sick.
I think everything I've done in my career to this point has proven that I'm capable of driving any car, and I can drive them at the same race. So, no better time than to let a guy or a gal hop in a top fuel car and a pro stock car. That would be super exciting to see somebody accomplish two big feats on the same day like that. And I think Erica or myself, we were groomed and ready for that task.
Ooh, I like this, Aaron.
I like it. Spicy.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, man, thank you for coming on. We really appreciate you taking time. You got anybody that you want to thank, plug, sponsors?
Heck yes, man. Obviously Richard Freeman having the confidence to say he's going to stick me in a top fuel car, or to say, I know you've never sat in a pro mod car, but hell, let's go race the baddest guys this our sport has to offer. For him to have the confidence in me to go do that, it feels great, as one of his drivers. And Pat Quinn, which has been a part of my racing kind of behind doors. He's been a part of my racing for a long time, and he was one of the main supporters for me to come out here and have the opportunity to race with you guys. I want to give him a big thank you and for his continued support, not only in this but the pro stock car and everything else I've gotten to race. And Joe Janik, man, he's gave me the platform to show I can do all of this. And without him, I might have not had these opportunities as quick as I've had them. So a big thank you to him and our normal guys that allow us to go out there and do what we love to do. JHG, Melling, C-Tech, Outlaw Beer.
I see that C-Tech shirt.
Yeah, I got the C-Tech shirt.
There you go.
The list goes on and on. We have a lot of great partners with Elite Motorsports, and the list is growing. And I want to thank each and every one of them for allowing us to go out there and represent them and do what we love to do.
Bad to the bone, brother.
Good. Now go do your vlog.
Yeah, vlog. I gotta go. She's probably saying, "All right, you better get in here. It's time to get some kids a bath." And
oh shit, get back to real life.
I gotta get back to real life.
Thanks for
Brother,
coming
on. We really appreciate it. Looking forward to see you in Phoenix. Looking to see where you end up this year.
Yep, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
See you,
Thank
buddy.
you. Awesome. That's a race car driving joker right there.
And he's getting at the beginning. I don't want to do interviews. I don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. I'm not good at talking. Every time he opens his mouth, gets better and better. And I love this confidence that's spewing out of him. And I think he's going to be a very dangerous force to be reckoned with this year.
Winning will do that to a man.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I'm really excited to recap the Gators. Also very excited about our next guest. I think stole the media show at the Gators. Very rarely am I entertained by watching drivers. There's a lot of times that they're not honest in their emotions or can't or don't want to. Watching this was really cool for me. Really excited to bring on Maddi, as we've been calling her, Maddi. What's up?
What's up?
All suited up.
You may be able to give me a run for my money with my mouth. We're gonna see, because you can talk pretty good up there. What's happening?
I'm like, man, I'm just like spewing everything I'm thinking. Make sure I better be thinking good thoughts, because I just seem to be spewing them all.
No, but that's what.
Just say it as soon as it hits your brain. That's the best way to do it.
We're going to get into this here in a minute, but I've seen so many people on this front. They take media training, they do this, they try and be a poised version. The thing that lasts and the longevity is the authenticity. And that is why the crowds and the reaction, and even people in drag racing, had such a big reaction to it, because it wasn't how loud or how this, it was because it felt so authentic. I think that's my opinion. I loved watching it, but thanks for coming on Shake and Bake.
Wow, I was so excited when I got your text. I was like, dude, I've been hearing all about this Shake and Bake show and watching it. Like, heck yeah, I want to be on it.
So where are you? You're in a hotel? Where are you? You're doing all the things,
yes.
I assume.
Right now we're in Charlotte. We got a crazy schedule. I actually thought we were leaving this hotel this morning, so I packed up my bag and rolled it into the lobby, and Ron's like, what are you doing? I'm like, aren't we leaving? And he's like, no. I'm like, oh, okay. Like, roll it back upstairs. But no, so we were Tallahassee yesterday, then flew to Charlotte night, and media in Charlotte today. Then we're driving to Raleigh tomorrow, and then doing media in Raleigh, and then I fly home tomorrow night.
Girl, get ready.
Yes,
It's been a
It's coming.
I love it though. As soon as I
Driving
get home
from-
too, I'm turning around and going to Pomona. Sister's running.
Driving from Charlotte to Raleigh, you do pass right by MacFab if you and Ron want to stop in and check out the beadlock shop. I know you probably don't have time for that, but
She's famous, Lau. She ain't got time for you.
Ron Capps has time for me.
But Maddie the baddie just
Oh my gosh. Shout out to Joe Santangelo. Like, how freaking cool was that?
Yeah, I'm gonna
love that guy.
definitely get a lot of credit for that, and I'm gonna try and take it. But Joe Santangelo texted me and said him and Cass decided after your first round win that you needed to be called Maddie the baddie, and I needed to say it. So when I said it, I'm gonna out him. I said it. Galvin looked at me like, really? And then we just kept getting the response, and I told him what you told me, that people were asking you to sign it, and I think
my gosh,
we changed it.
I don't even think they wanted my autograph anymore. They're like, can you sign Maddie the baddie? I'm like, can I what? They're like, can you sign Maddie the baddie? I'm like, yeah. And then like 3 people later, how about Maddie the baddie? I'm like, dude, this thing's catch and win.
So that means we've been looking for a TikTok to do together. That means the one that we have to do is we got to take it back to the I ain't never been with a baddie.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Let's do it. I'm in for all that stuff. It's so funny too because we've got like all of these, like we'll do all these TikTok trends, and like I sent them to Cass, and we kind of like, you know, we got like a little folder going, and me and Ron did the awkward JCPenney pictures at a media day. He's like, are you sure this isn't weird? This feels kind of weird. We're like, no, Ron, it's cool. It's good, Ron. He's like, okay.
It's a trend, Ron. You don't even know what a trend is.
He's up for all the good.
He is. Well, let's dive into Gators. So I don't know if you've ever watched this show. No worries if you haven't. But what we usually do is, you know, we kind of like recap the race when we bring a driver on. They'll do the whole thing with us. So we're going to do the whole thing, get your perspective on all of it. And then when we get to Top Fuel, we'll kind of let the Maddie the baddie show go. So Stevie, go on.
All right, let's start with Drag Racing Bracket Bonanza, where we got a lot of shit because me and Lyle did not fill out our bracket. But I want to let you guys know the strategy here of why we did that. We are so superior to you, Courtney, that we're giving you a head start on the season.
Correct.
So we're trying to make it fair for you, so you can just say thank you and focus on that.
DNQ, and I won everything. So basically, we have our own league in this, and we've got now 500.
That me flipping the bird?
Yeah, play that back up. I'm flipping the bird too on the couch. I can tell this was put together by Molly when she was mad at me.
Yeah, well, also I won, so you guys are all upset in your photos. If you don't notice, when she does this, she, depending on where we're ranked, is the photos she uses. So also, you guys sucked because you didn't do it. But I will say my bracket, I did not do good. I did not do good at all. But we've got almost 600 Shake and Bakers in our league now, which is absolutely insane. All of them are active except the guys who run the Shake and Bake show. So
hey, we're gonna get on it. We were focusing on doing the weaning. Okay, we're trying to do the weaning. We also, when we're talking about you sucking, we also have to bring out, it's in my topic to talk about the track conditions. That threw a lot of people's bracket for a loop. I know when we heard the fuel cars, so I'm going to give you guys a super crew chief Top Fuel Pro Mod correlation insight. Jeff might get mad at me if I say this.
He can't hear you. Just say it.
No, he's watching. I can see him out there. So the way that you can always tell how fast a Pro Mod car can go is you can take what Top Fuel runs, add 2 seconds to it, and that is what a top level Pro Mod will run. So when I see you guys go out there and go 365, I know that we can go 565, like period across the board. When I hear all of you guys pedaling and blowing up and catching on fire, I know that we can't go really fast. But that's Stevie's tip. Next time you watch it, you're going to be thinking about it. When you watch the quickest car in Top Fuel go 370 flat, quickest pro miles going 570 flat.
That actually, in hindsight, correlates.
Of course it is. We're talking about performance and race cars and pro mods. Of course I'm talking about.
Oh my Lord. Anyway, so yeah, first round was tricky. Give us your perspective. Maddi, you had to get through some freaking killers this weekend, and I think Lob and just Nate pass up there wasn't in the stars. So you're going into first round. Track's tricky. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, we were hoping it was going to be hotter than it was because we were really happy we made a 378 run in testing, and it was like hot, and we were really, really happy with that. And then we had our 379 that we ran in Q4, and we were low by 400ths, and it was hot. And so we were really happy with our car in the heat. We haven't ran the 60s yet, or we haven't ran low 70s yet. I have confidence we'll get there, but we just haven't, we're kind of easing up on everything, slowly getting there. As Rob says, like, I'm not going to learn anything smoking the tires, and he's not going to learn anything smoking the tires. So we're trying to inch up on that faster tune-up. So when it was kind of cool that morning, we were like, all right. Well, we'll push, but we still we don't want to push too much and smoke the tires or something like that. So, rolling up against Sean too, it was like, Ron obviously got me to this point, and he's taught me so much, but I had one of my million questions, or multiple of my million questions. Ron was like, hey, I can't really answer that because it was, a top fuel specific question. So I went to Sean for all of that. I went with him to a lot of practice tree questions, specific top fuel related questions, and he was, more than willing to help me with everything. And he came and watched every single test pass I made, came over after every run, talked to me after every single time. So he was very involved in my licensing process. And the fact that we had to race him first round was like, well, I know. The fact that we had to race him first round, though, I was like, of course this is happening. But no, it was just a huge deal. And like, I didn't realize I could actually hear the other car. And when we were, we're going right and we're pulling, I'm like, okay, cool. This thing's running good. Like, it didn't quiver or nothing. Like, it's just going good and straight. The engine RPM drops and it starts to lock the clutch up, and we start pulling. And I swear to God, I hear his engine rev up, and I'm like, holy fuck. Holy shit.
You can say that
on the Shake and Bake show.
Big space.
Holy something. Like, I'm pretty damn sure he just smoked the tires. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, like, our car is still pulling. Like, holy moly. And all I was looking at was where I hoped the wind light would come on, and it did. And I swear, I don't even think the parachutes came out yet. I think I lifted off the gas, and my finger went right on the button, and I was just screaming, like, just so huge to beat Sean, for one, because he's so talented and so amazing, and for two, for our team, like, it was huge.
I love those rounds where you're like, you don't think you're going to win, and you're about a half a second from the finish line. You're like, holy shit, I'm winning. I'm going to win.
I'm like, rip these dang head pads off. I want to turn my head, see where he is.
Somebody, I think it was you, or I don't remember, somebody posted from the Fox truck that run. And when your wind light came on, the producer was like, go to the car shot. She's going to be pumped. Yep, she's pumped. Stay on her. Like, you're knowing how you're going to react is going to change the way that they cover this freaking sport.
Yeah.
But
I love that. I love that shot. That was so cool.
And you can see your little eyes in there.
And my mouth guard. I got this weird mouth guard too. So it got that in there too.
We have a video. Molly, go ahead and show the video.
So how much as a driver does that get you fired up when that many people want to watch you warm up? That's one of my favorite things, is when we fire up one of these things and people are surrounded. It gets me fired up. How cool is that?
It is beyond amazing. I mean, being 100% truthful, going into Gainesville, I figured all of my alcohol friends would recognize me for sure. I figured some people would know who I was, maybe I might walk through the pits and get recognized once or twice. I honestly, that's what I thought was going to happen. And when we had that big of a crowd, I was actually my jaw dropped. Before that warm up, I was in the lounge. I kind of just needed like a little breather on my own. And we had 5 minutes, so we warmed up. So I went out of the trailer and I was like, cool, I'll go sign, while I'm out there. There'll be a couple people probably, right? I literally walked to the door of the trailer and my jaw actually dropped. I just blown away. And that video is so cool. So cool. What like, it just shows how dedicated our fans are. It was pouring down rain, doing some media with Allie, and I was bummed because when I went in, there was a lot of people out there, so I was going to go, sign autographs when I came back out. And then it started raining. I'm like, oh, that sucks. They're probably all gone. They were 3 deep across the entire ropes in the pouring rain. I was like, holy smokes. Like, that's dedication. I'm going to go hang out in the rain with y'all. Like, that's, like, so freaking cool.
Hey, Maddie, do you know if that was after any of that video that they just showed? Was that after the Q1 or Q2 run? Do you know which warm-up that was? Probably not.
That was, that I believe was for the semifinals.
Oh, okay. Well, and I was, we were talking about the private chat, but, I watched your interviews after Q1 and Q2 when you were all jacked up and then throughout race day, and what a breath of fresh air to see somebody with that kind of passion, because, some people compared it to it, and you probably don't believe it, but when I know we didn't lose John Force himself, but we lost John Force, the race car driver, and myself, along with many others, were a little worried that we had lost that, right? Like what he was, his personality at the top end, the whole 9 yards, if you've talked to John outside of that, he's the same crazy MFer all the time, but what a breath of fresh, God almighty, I about fell out of this chair. What a breath of,
please fall out of the chair, please.
No, that would just cap off my fucking week. But what a breath of fresh air it really was to see somebody like you do that. And I know it wasn't put on.
Courtney,
right?
you can have forever at that.
I think it just released. Let me make it.
Made me laugh.
God, I'm not.
I can tell the delayed response in Courtney's head of she's just visually seeing you fall out of the chair.
Man, it's just bare concrete back there. What I heard.
So it's very on the show. Lyle and I fight like brother and sister. And if I could do anything or pay any money to have made him fall out of that chair while he was asking Maddie the Batty a question, I would have.
All right. Well, let me get back to talking to Maddie, please. Are we done? You good? You get it out?
I'm fine.
Are you fine?
I'm fine.
But I think part of the reason, and I don't know if there was that many people back there in some of your earlier warm-ups or not, but I can guarantee you one thing, that from now on, if your race car fires up, that is what it's going to look like behind your trailer because of who you are and the flat show you put on. I was at the fence one time when you rolled by and the entire grandstands goes apeshit, like that's not because of any reason except that you have flat made a statement here and it's fucking impressive.
I promise you it's not because your top fuel car is fast.
No.
I've made my entire career by being who I am in front of that camera. It's awesome. Keep doing it. Don't change a thing. When you get marketing partners that come to you and tell you, here's a lot of money, change yourself, give them the money back and tell them to go screw themselves.
Absolutely.
Every time you'll make a difference. You'll find people like
it does mean, it means a ton. Like it really does. Like you guys know everybody in the sport, and that it means a lot coming for you guys. And the thing is what I've really appreciated so much about Ron and Carlisle and Napa and Monster is they never wanted me to get media trained. From the very beginning, Napa and Carlisle were very, very honest with the fact that, like, do not get media trained. Like, they were very, very clear they did not want that. And I love it because, like, people ask me, do you like doing media? Do you like this? Do you like that? And it's like, it's not a job for me because I just get to be myself. I just get to talk. And it's like, well, don't you get tired of talking? Well, like, sure, if I was talking about, I don't know, doorbells or something, I'm talking. But like when I'm talking about races and race cars and driving a race car, and like it doesn't ever get old. And I promise you, it's not an act. I just truly love racing, whether it's super comp racing, whether it's bracket racing, whether I'm turkey racing at the turkey race in Vegas, or top fuel racing. I just love it. And I'm just so happy that I can just be myself. And I was beyond amazed when we drove past those grandstands and they were standing up, applauding and screaming. And I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And it's just, I love being able to be myself. I really do. Cause I gotta be honest, I ain't very good at faking stuff. So it comes across as very fake if I try.
When you laid your head down on Sunday night, like yes, all this stuff we're talking about is really cool and that'll change the sport in all the ways and all the things. But you went to the semifinals in your debut. You beat world champions you beat the winningest driver in our entire sport, right? Like the things that you mowed through. When you laid your head down on Sunday night, like did anything sink in? Were you on just such a high, or what were some of those like pillow thoughts?
Honestly, such a high. Like I'm still riding the high. I really am, to be completely honest with you. And I feel like once I get home, because right now I'm still I'm in hotels, I'm in, just unfamiliar places. But I think once I get home and watch the Fox show, I really think it's all going to kind of like settle in and just be like, I watch every single show. I watch every single professional show since I was a kid. And to be able to see my face and my name in the race car that I get to drive on the Fox show, I think is really going to be just exciting. And, I had so much hometown support, so many people that were like, oh my gosh, I was walking through a bar and there you were. And it's just, it's very surreal. It really is. And, but when I knew I was lining up against John Langton and Tony Schumacher and Doug Coletta, I mean, when I was sitting, like they were driving the track and I was in the car, I could hear my heartbeat in my ears when we were running Tony Schumacher. I'm like, what the heck is this? This needs to stop. Like, no more. We need to focus here. And, but no, it's I'm just living a dream. I really am. It's hard to believe that was one of 20. Like, we have 19 left to go.
Yeah. We have
which one's harder to drive? Top alcohol funny car or top fuel car?
Depends what part of the track you're talking about.
We'll break it down. Give us the sneaky.
Right. Yeah. So they're really hard to even compare, to be honest with you, just because the funny car obviously never wants to go straight. It's always driving everywhere. But everything happens from start to 660 feet for the most part. If something's happening down track far, like you're in bigger trouble. But like, in the first 600 feet in the alcohol car, you're carrying the front end at least 150 feet. So when it finally drops down, it usually upsets the car a little bit. And so you're having to yank it back one way or the other. And right about the time you hopefully get it back in the groove, you're shifting. And that shift comes really fast. Like the motor ramps up extremely fast. So you're, that fast when you missed it and you blew the engine up. And then once you get that shift, you're still trying to get it back in the groove. And by the time you can already realize you're at 600 feet, time to shift again. And as long as you're in the groove, at that point, you're pretty smooth sailing for the most of the run, for the most part. And then obviously the starting line procedures is, pretty hectic in the alcohol funny car, whether you're revving it up and dropping the clutch, or whether you're doing the two-step. You have a lot going on up there. Versus the top fuel car, the starting line procedure is there's not as much to do as far as pulling the fuel on, dropping the clutch, and then you can roll it in and you can bump it in and stage it pretty light. You hit the gas and it's faster. It's faster than the funny car. But the first 300 feet, I kind of feel like I can take the car wherever I want because we don't really carry the front end. So I just kind of feel like I can, if we stage out of the groove, I can just gradually pull it back in. But when you hit 400 feet, all hell breaks loose. That's when, in my opinion, it gets harder to drive the top fuel cars when you get to 400 feet because everything happens so much faster. I mean, 1, 2, 3, you're going 300 miles an hour. And so it happens so fast, and down track is when stuff's going to happen in the top fuel car. Like we smoked the tires at 550 feet. Like that was way further down track than I've ever smoked the tires. And, you know, it drops a cylinder down there and moves you around and tries to pull you over the center line or put you in the wall. And so definitely further down track is where it gets a lot more difficult to handle in the top fuel car for sure. And then the chutes hit like you're, you know, got slammed by a cement truck. Like it's like, holy hell. But yeah, that would be my explanation on that.
This is what I mean. I said the other day, I said, it's not just an interview. Like people can spout out their sponsors and give good interviews and do all this. There's certain people that can take you on a journey, and I've never done what you've done. And I felt like as you were telling that story, like I'm right there in the two-seater with you. You have a very unique ability to do that. Do not stop.
I've driven alcohol car, and it is one of the few cars where you really get to drive it that I've driven. So I love it. I haven't driven the Furl car yet, but me and Lyle are gonna. As soon as MacFab blows up and goes public, we're gonna get one.
There we go.
Yeah. Oh, and it's all going to happen when Ron Cap and Maddie stop by and post it on their Instagram.
That's right.
Stop by, MacFab, and KTR blows up. I can see you in the news tomorrow. Stevie Fast and Lyle Barnott share top fuel ride for Phoenix. I'll make the first 2 runs. You can make the rest of them. Be fine.
Oh, shoot.
Whatever.
Check you guys out.
I just want to make one.
Then you'll come and get your ass whipped by Maddie. So
That's fine too.
Yeah.
Molly said she's got a video of Maddie and Tony's run.
you hear the crowd.
Went crazy.
Oh, it's insane.
Wait until you watch the Fox show and hear what the great Brian Loans has to say about you, my sweet girl. You just wait.
I cannot wait. Like, I literally am so excited. I get home tomorrow at midnight. I might just watch it at midnight. Like, I've been watching racing, like, every day. I mean, like, Ron's like, hey, what do you do? You know, we'll be separated or whatever. He'll be, like, you know, doing whatever, and I'll be in my hotel room. And, you know, we were apart for, like, 2 hours. And he's like, what have you been doing? I'm like, watching racing. He's like, you mean the races that you were in yesterday? And I'm like, well, yeah, I missed some of it. I didn't get to see what everybody did. I'm like, I got to watch Pro Stock. I got to watch Pro Stock Motorcycle. I got to watch Fuel, Funny Car. Like, we got to know what's going on. Like, I missed a lot. He's like, oh, my Lord.
A true
Yeah.
freaking racer.
Oh, man. This is going to be so awesome.
It is.
Cool.
What do you think a successful year for you looks like?
You know, everyone wants to win a championship. That's like a given. I mean, you know, we wouldn't be out here if we didn't want to win the championship. That's what everybody wants. Obviously, running all the races, we're going to qualify for Rookie of the Year, which would be insane. It's going to be really tough. Obviously, there's a lot of really good rookies out there. So we're striving for that. That literally is a once in a lifetime opportunity. I will never get that again. And so that would be a big goal of ours. And then winning some races, you know, obviously we want to go out there. We want to win the Diamond Wally. That's another once in a year opportunity.
Yeah.
Or 20 times a year opportunity, but it's never going to come around again. And, you know, I think coming in before I'd even driven the race car, people ask that same question. What do you expect? I don't really know what I expect yet. Like I haven't hit the gas yet. I haven't raced around yet. So it's hard to say like what I expect or what we expect. But after this weekend, you know, we really just gained a lot of confidence as a team. I mean, built this team from scratch, from ground up. Rob and Troy have worked together previously. A couple of our other crew members have worked together previously. We also have a couple new guys, and they made not one mistake. There was not one mistake made. We had quick turnarounds. They were flawless. Everybody worked together seamlessly. It was just so cool. And I think every interview I talked about our team because, like, I am just so freaking proud of our team. Like, none of this is possible without them. And I'm just so proud of all of them and all their hard work. But going back to your question, you know, Rookie of the Year would be amazing. And, you know, winning races and obviously being top 10 so we can be part of the countdown is going to be, you know, of course we're striving for that. And, yeah, you know, we want to be in victory lane this year. So we'll see how it goes. We feel like we have a lot more potential, but it's just going to take some time. Just getting more comfortable in the car. Myself, Robin, Troy, and everybody.
Lyle, I'll make a deal with you. I'll go get one of those diamond, silver, cool looking Wallies if you will. We'll both get us one by
Deal.
Vegas.
You know, but there are some good rookies out there, but I would hate to know that I was in the running for Rookie of the Year this year and know that Maddi Gordon is what I've got to go up against. Like, ain't happening for me, dog.
And sitting next to the rookie this year, and he said at dinner tonight, he goes,
"No damn way."
I was hoping that they would interview me. That he didn't get an interview at the top end on race day because he was going to say, like, I'm glad I got mine out of the way last year because ain't nothing touching that.
Yeah,
that's
one race in, and I think you've already won it, in my opinion. But
no,
there will be some downs, right? Like it's also tough to start a year like you started because it will not always be that way. You guys may have a very successful year. You may win the championship, whatever it may be, but there will be some shit and some hard days and some mistakes and all that stuff. And so I think that's a little bit, that's like Spencer's year started with 2 DNQs and it was one of these, and you'll have one of the, and you may not, you may have a perfect one, but at some point in your career. And I think that, I think you'll handle that just fine.
Yeah.
All right, let's roll through.
Absolutely. And it's honestly,
no, go ahead, Maddi.
No, just racing teaches you to lose. It really does teach you how to be a good loser. Everyone's a winner. You just got to learn how to be a good loser.
Before we go on to the other classes real quick, I put this in the private chat, but I want to know how many new Instagram followers you had this weekend. You had to have had at least a freaking 1,000 new ones. Am I right? If not more.
It was freaking awesome. It was freaking awesome. We gained over 4,000 on Instagram.
Woo! That's pretty hard.
Amazing.
It takes a long time.
Amazing. That's a lot.
I went and looked at your followers today, and I thought, damn it, I wish I would have looked before. 4,000. That's wild.
4,000.
That's wild.
It was wild. It was wild. Yes,
all right, let's go through this stuff.
All right, pro stock. We got Matt Hartford smoking on down through there.
And not even just a little. He outran Greg Anderson by like freaking 300ths in the final round, which is out of control. And also, Greg Anderson almost didn't qualify, squeaked her in there Q4. So it was a bit exciting. And Cody Anderson, that was crazy. Cody Anderson and Greg running was cool.
Yes.
Funny car. We have Chad Green smoking her, former Pro Mod driver Chad Green smoking on in there. That is
back-to-back Gatornationals wins for him.
Yep, he said he wants to only race in Gainesville, and I won't blame him.
Yep, changing the schedule.
We have to, before we go on from Funny Car, we have to talk about, I saw something in our crowd this weekend, the highs with you, and I've never seen or heard a negative reaction like I've seen or heard and we love Austin Prock. He's a multi-time guest on this show, but somebody's got to be a villain. And when he took that interview after he didn't qualify and said what he said, I was standing on the starting line. I have never in my 3 decades of drag racing heard the audible boo. It was as loud as your cheers. And I want to know y'all's thoughts on that.
I didn't see the interview live, so I didn't get the reaction that you guys did. But you got to look at both sides. So I get, yes, that's exactly right. Phil Schuler told me at my first race with me, which we won, by the way, that you have to be a better loser than a winner in this sport. You'll lose a lot more than you win.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. I always tell people, and we'll get back to this, when all the casual fans, like you're at the bank and the bank teller sees the KTR shirt and they're like, oh, you drag race, you win all the time. And I'm like, no. I was like, the best one to ever do it lost 75% of the time. And that's the best winningest of all time. I was like, they're like, why did you pick this sport? And I'm like, because it's hard. Because when you do win, you're badass. Like you've done a lot. But I want to say both sides of the Austin Prock deal. We cannot demand the raw emotion and honesty from drivers on the good side and chastise them when they say something we don't like because they're giving us what they ask for. Yep. You know how much hate I get every time I open my stupid mouth and say what I'm thinking and it's just taken wrong or it's in the wrong context. And then I go back and look at it and I'm like, man, I really did look like a douchebag when I said that, but that's not what I meant. We got to give these drivers some grace. You don't know what's going through the head right there. And he's used to winning. I know a lot of people are bagging on him because he left, right? And went in this deal, but you gotta see both sides of the coin.
Yeah. And I think that's something that people misunderstand too, is they're like, oh, he left his family. No, his family left and he went with him. Like John Force, awesome, gave him the opportunity, other things, but John Force is not his papa. His dad and his brother, they chose to do that as a family. And I said this before, and I think that it's so good to have what we're having. And talked about Jordan Vandiger. Somebody brought him up in the comments here. He'll be probably your toughest competitor, Maddie, when it comes to Rookie of the Year. If he's even eligible. He may not be. He's not eligible. You're right. But he's going to come out on the good guy end of this when he really had, him and Austin are fine and they'll ping them against each other. But I agree with you. I think that if we want to be able to take the things that people like Maddi Gordon are giving us, we have to be able to do that. And Austin Prock, unfortunately, is that guy this year. But Stevie, you know this, Lyle, not enough people hate you, but
I got plenty.
And Erica the same way. I think more people hate her than they like her these days, but they watch and they follow and they pay attention and they buy a ticket and they buy Greg Anderson's shirt because they hate Erica Enders, or they buy whatever. And I think that the second that we lose that, and maybe the last couple of years, we didn't really have those kinds of characters out here. And that's why this is going to be magic. But I think, speak your mind. What do you think, Mom?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I think that, what's a tough part of doing what, especially in the limelight, like Maddie and Austin and Jordan and all those guys, and, Stevie and I to a certain degree, is you always have to be on, right? Like, it doesn't matter if we're at a concert, at some shithole bar in some town we've never been to, most definitely at the racetrack, but you always have to be on, right? And like, when I turned it red in the final on Sunday, the last thing that I wanted to do was talk to anybody, not my dad, not my wife, not my kids, not my dog. I wanted to slam shit and throw my helmet, and I wanted to do all the things, but anymore. And I do that. I have done it. I turned it red against Stevie in Virginia in 2022, and I threw my Hans smooth into the woods, like I'm known to show my ass when shit don't go right, but that's part of a way you can grow a fleet of haters behind you, and that's okay. Maddie probably doesn't have any, but at some point, sometime, somewhere you will. And that's just, that you've done this long enough, it's part of it. But I think the hardest part of what we do is always having to be on and making sure, or trying at least to make sure that especially the fans at the racetrack see us at our best, right? And you tried your damnedest to not let them see you at your worst, but
it will happen.
Arguably the worst at it. Like, I'm so bad at showing my ass when shit don't go right, or when I do something dumb, like turn it red in the final. But it's a really hard part of what we do.
Here's what I can promise you with all the factual knowledge I have of the world. If you race cars long enough, people are inherently going to hate you, and they're going to hate you whether you're good or bad, but they're going to just hate you. It is the most dangerous thing for a really good driver to want people to like them all the time. Mm-hmm. Like, I learned very early on that it doesn't matter what you do. Half everybody likes you and half everybody doesn't. They either like you because you're a really good top fuel driver and pretty, or they hate you because you're a good top fuel driver and pretty. It doesn't matter. But what Lyle's talking about is, like, so I go out there and I get crushed in the first round. And just like Lyle said, I want to drive my Pro Mod through the scoreboard and out onto the interstate and at home so I don't have to see anybody. I get back to the pits and there's 20 people there waiting to talk to me. And that is the worst. When you get crushed and you really get beat, you don't like it, and you got to sit out there and smile, man, thank you all for coming. It's really tough. And people don't see that. They don't see that side of it. Besides us being race car drivers, we want to win. Every single one of us is out there wants to win. It's a tough gig, man. It's tough.
I think about it, like, from a fan's perspective, like when I watch Supercross, I get so excited to watch Hayden Deegan when he runs in the West, because I know Levi Kitchen and him are competing, because they have a rivalry, because the two of them compete and they're both really good. And they're going to battle it out every single time. And I look forward to listening to Levi Kitchen's interview and Hayden Deegan's interview. What are they going to say? Like, I look forward to that. And I think about it from a fan's perspective, because at the end of the day, that's what this is all for. If there wasn't fans, we wouldn't be here. It's at the end of the day, it is a show for the fans. That's why we are here. And, I think, like you said, it's important to show your real self. Like, in the goods and the bads, like you're going to lose more than you're going to win. And I think it creates a good storyline. I think people, like you said, they're going to be upset at him and mad at him for what he said. But at the same time, they're going to watch. They're going to see what he does in Phoenix. They're going to be like, oh, what's Austin Park doing? Like, what's he going to say?
On his next interview.
Yes. I think it creates a lot of buzz in our sport, good or bad. And, I think it's going to gain him a lot of attention, and if he comes back in Phoenix and just, kicks butt, it's going to just be that much more rewarding for their whole team. And if they struggle, then it's going to be that much more rewarding than when they do finally figure it out, because they'll figure it out. Yeah.
Yes. Well, you've got Jimmy Prock over there and a budget. They're going to win. It's not, everybody's like, oh, they're washed up. Okay.
No, this is just a part of the class.
Right. Just watch. Like
they're for sure.
Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting year. I am more excited about watching the fuel classes than I have been in a while.
Me too. I usually just kind of like, whatever, keep up with it because it was. And then when Spencer started running funny car, I'm like, okay, now I'm into it. But this year, I think, and even with the other storylines, right? Like Josh Hart winning this weekend. You want to talk about another fairy tale situation? He sets the track record. He gets his first number one qualifier. He's in his hometown. It's a new team. A lot of people were hating on him. He lost RNL, all of these things. And he goes out there and he wins the race with a brand new team. And same thing. It's not going to be that easy for the whole year. But I think that there's going to be more players in this class than we've had in a really long time. And people were talking last year with the car count and fuel and interest is going away and blah, blah, blah. All it needed was just a little spark of fire and a little switching teams over there at Force. And I think people were honestly worried about not having a Force on the racetrack as well. I know I was. Not having that last name on the racetrack was a scary thing for our sport. And it's not because you got Monster. That also helps. I'm sure you'll be called Brittany by some geriatric fan at some point. Just because you're blonde and have the Monster thing. But like, not that we don't need them. I would love for all of them to come back. But I think that fate and time may have it to where this 75th year is a turning point for all of that stuff and a lot of new things. And John Force Racing coming in, a lot of people over the offseason, oh, they're toast. There's no way they can do this, blah, blah, blah. They're going to do it. And I think we're all in for quite the ride.
I think that every year I learn this same lesson, and this is going to piss off a lot of people. So it's gonna we go race all this other stuff all over the place, and I love it. I match race, I grudge race, I run small tire, big tire, winter series, PDRA, all this stuff, all these great organizations. But when you get to NHRA, you realize why only the elite people race there and why the rest of the world hates it, because it is the hardest place in the world to race and win, and it's where the best drivers, crew chiefs, team owners, and all of that come together. And I was really excited when I left Gainesville. Everybody put on a good show, challenging track conditions. I know it's really cool when we run Pro Mod and I see all the fuel drivers up there watching. And when they're running fuel, all of us Pro Mod drivers, they won't find us up there, but we're trying to sneak around the corner and get up there. And I want to be up there when you do a burnout and go by. And if you have a pulse and you're a racing fan, 2026 is going to be a really awesome growing year for our sport.
It's a good time to be alive. And the only thing we haven't covered yet, large thanks to you at the moment there, sis. But the bike, I wanted to say something about the bikes because the way that each and every other class ended last year, it sucked. We didn't get to run Pomona. But a lot of those championships were a mere formality from being locked up, except for bikes. And they had a lot of racing left to do. And I think that Richard Gadsden, I feel bad for him in a sense, not really because he won. But he didn't get to prove that or stamp that. And a large part, I talked to him on Friday, a big goal of his this weekend was to win to shut that up, to prove that, yes, we're not in Pomona and we're not last year. Things could have gone away, but to come out and win the first race after all that happened felt really good for him. And I loved being able to see that. Not that I don't want Gage or anybody else to win, but I felt like that was his Pomona, and now he can move on and continue to chase that second championship this year. But that sucked for him to not be able to complete that. But he said he got to take a breath of fresh air for the first time.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I think that's a huge deal too, because we kind of went through a similar deal in the Alcohol Funny Car when we won our first world championship in 2020. And it kind of felt like, you won the championship, but like it wasn't a full season. Like, would you have really won the championship? So like we almost said like, oh, we won it like with an asterisk almost in a sense. And then for us to come back and we won the championship again in 2021, it was like, okay, like we are real champions, like no asterisks, like we did it. And I'm really happy for Richard too, because that's really cool for him. And who knows, maybe after it was all done, maybe he would have, really came out with it anyways. Like, you just don't know. But at the end of the day, like, he did the best up to that point, and that's what won the championship. And for him to come out and win, that was just, I couldn't agree more. Really cool for him, and just like you said, a breath of fresh air he can breathe. So that's really cool.
What did he say? He said, for all you who said that I didn't win last year, I'm not allowed to speak that way on this censorship platform. And I was like, and he's usually so sweet and soft-spoken, but so that was cool. Gainesville was wild, and I think the last thing we got to talk about is the crowd, right? We sold out 2 days. They hold over 30,000 in that place. I had to be picked up on a scooter on the way in to make my freaking Fox call, and I've never seen it. It's always crazy like that, but I think that we are rejuvenated.
I will tell you this. I left to go to the gym on Saturday and Sunday morning at between 6 and 7 o'clock, and the crowd was all the way out of the track to the corner, down the road 3 miles at 6:30 in the morning. And I was like, racing is – and these are not all racers, not all crew chiefs and team owners. These are fans. And I was like, racing is alive. I want to give a huge shout-out to Derek Menholt for winning Pro Mod. I hate that my man LB didn't win, but Derek's one of the good guys and is doing – he's got a bright future ahead of him racing. All centrifugal final. 2 centrifugal cars in the class, 2 centrifugal cars in the final. Looked very impressive this year.
Maddie, have you ever driven a Pro Mod?
No, I have not.
You want to?
Hell yeah!
If Maddi Gordon is not in the winter series next year, friggin' make me quit my job.
I have to ask my boss. After he got hurt in that midget. I got a feeling he's not even gonna. I'm surprised he even lets me drive a regular car around town. He's
that's
like,
true.
I have a feeling it's no, but eventually in my lifetime, yes, I would love to drive a Pro Mod.
We'll at least need to get you there to do some announcing or something, because it's a different vibe there in the winter series, the World Series of Pro Mod. It's a wild time.
Oh, I bet. No, I've been
get one of these things ready right now.
Yep. So
one more thing before we smoke through there. Thank you to all of you guys that came to the Midway and supported the NHRA Pro Mod series with our new merch trailer. We had a good week. It was really cool to have a central place to connect with all the fans. We're going to do stuff at the next, and we won't have it in Phoenix just because of the hall. It'll be back in Charlotte. We're going to do stuff like autograph sessions, driver appearances. My dogs were over there, made an appearance, and everybody tried to steal my dogs, so I got to put a chain around them. But thank you guys. Yeah, there's Shadow.
Look at Shadow.
Shadow is on the Shadow, getting ready to make it happen. There's Shadow. Look, Nitro is like me. I used to look like Shadow, and now after drag racing for 30 years, I look like Nitro.
Maddie is Shadow. Stevie is Nitro.
All right, put that back up, Molly. This is 20. This is you in 20 years. All right, you're right now. You're on the right, and in 20, 30 years of racing, you're gonna be me.
How old are you, Maddie?
All right.
How old are you, Maddie? Are you 21?
21.
21. She's already been doing this 20 years.
I haven't been racing 20 years.
I got a late start. I went to my first race at 8 days old.
Oh, what were you doing? What a loser. Get your life together.
All right. Put your goals.
My dad said he knew I was a racer because I was supposed to be born when he was raised in Bakersfield, but I held off so he could be there. So he said,
So he could be there you go.
There is hope all over the world for folks.
We got anything else before I fire off the question?
So we always ask this question at the end of the show. We didn't really mean for this to be our thing, but it became our thing. And Stevie, give it to her.
Okay. We're driving across the country. We smoke past Dallas, Texas, and go to Phoenix. We show up at the track. We have 4 awesome qualifiers. It's 105 degrees, and you go out there on Sunday. You make 4 awesome runs with your top fuel car. Okay. That thing's low ET of every round. You never smoke the tires. You end up in the winner's circle at your second race ever. You're hungry because you haven't eaten all day and it's 105 degrees. You leave the winner's circle and you go to the local Mexican restaurant. You're going to get your victory celebration dinner after winning in Phoenix. I want to know if you're looking at the menu, even if Lyle's over there or not, I want to know, do you or do you not love a big old steamy plate of fajitas? Are you ordering fajitas for the winter dinner or you're not?
No.
Yes. Yes.
I would give you knuckles, Lyle, if I could right now. Let's go.
What? Why not?
Oh, you gave her money. You paid
Because
her.
they
I
suck.
don't want to smell like a fajita.
Somebody play the angelic noise. Where's that angel choir?
Maddie, 78 episodes of this show. You are number 2.
Are you serious? No way. No.
3.
This thing,
3.
it always blows like all this stuff in your face, and then it's just like, hey, get it away. Like I want it cooked in the back.
See.
I don't want it cooked in front of my face.
See,
This was a big loss for us.
See,
Stevie.
she gets it. She
You
gets
just
it.
ruined my whole life.
If there was ever a vote ticket, he got Scotty Cannon and Maddi Gordon. God dang it.
I
Sorry,
knew I
y'all.
had that one in the bag. I didn't even.
I am back on top.
God.
Back on top.
And
Yes,
his
I am.
reason why is the same as yours, and that's what's pissing me off. Is
Yes.
he says like a Mexican
Listen.
butthole.
Look,
Wow, you have 2.5% of the vote.
well, I have of the 2.5% I have are important.
80 people and 2 said no.
You
Yeah.
and Scotty Cannon.
Damn, you guys got some smelly friends.
See, Maddie, that's what I've told him. Like anybody that goes to a Mexican restaurant and orders fajitas did not get enough attention as a kid because
Terrible.
here it comes, fucking shit flying everywhere.
Everyone's
Everybody's like
staring at him. It's like this thing.
dodging. Yeah, and then they sit it down. You know, you got to cook it for the next 20 minutes because they didn't cook it enough back there.
Have
And
you
it
signed off 10
smells.
minutes ago? This is AI.
I am upset.
I am such a fan.
Oh,
If Lyle Barnett was not a Maddi Gordon fan, he fucking is.
You know
Yeah.
what? Lyle, me and you, we need to invest in like some fajita smelling candles and just like start
gonna-
selling it to those 78 other people.
Or that, and then on the other side for the people that don't like them, just like they have like poopery for the bathroom, we'll get
Fajitery.
like fajitery that you can spray on yourself to hopefully like deter the
Like,
smell. You know, maybe you'll walk out there smelling
Yeah, so
somewhat
dry
like you did.
shampoo. I do it the morning after I have fajitas.
we're
Yeah,
never
well.
going to hear the end of this.
We're never.
No,
gonna
you're
get
not.
I can see the
Yes.
disappointment on Stevie's face. It is unreal. He is
Well,
so
I know how to read a room, okay? I understand people. I can talk to you, and I knew I was 100% I had that one in the bag. When I cruised past Dallas, Texas on the way to Phoenix, I knew I won that son of a bitch. Damn it.
Oh, that is hilarious.
All right, we'll work on it. We'll
Wow.
see. I'm on Jody.
This, but
Jody-
your new shake and bake shirt is you and Maddie just
With-
dissing the fajitas.
Yeah.
Jody, we're gonna cook fajitas at Phoenix. Put that in the hospitality menu. We're gonna bring Maddie
But
some.
here's the thing, and I'm sure Maddie's the same way. If they would bring the fajitas out on a plate, no steam, no stuff,
Yeah.
and you just like just rolled it up in the tortilla, didn't have to cook the son of a bitch at the table,
Say that
we're
again.
good.
Then it's not a fajita. That's
That's
called
what
a
it's called.
taco.
What is it when you pull that shit off of that skillet and put it in that? Is it no longer a fajita? So is it
No.
only a fajita when it's in that steaming pile of shit?
Is a drag racing car a drag racing car if you don't put gasoline in it?
Yeah,
So, it can't race. It can't go down the track.
but it's still a drag car.
We're done here. Stevie and I have to retire.
You just made me.
Oh, yep. Molly, we need a new
Right.
graphic. Just me and Maddie, Shake and Bake Show, 2 Tuesdays from now. These guys can go start their own shit show.
You just made me break my flash drive. I just broke my little metal tab off my flash drive here.
Oh,
It's okay. I'm still buying a
I
Maddi
love
Gordon
this
shirt.
question. Good question, y'all.
I have. Lyle wins. This
See,
is a
and
win.
you know what's gonna suck about this now, because Maddie's the it girl, right? So now people are gonna start to say no because it's cool.
The movement is going to go away. You're now an influencer. So now fajitas, Mexican restaurants might not even sell fajitas anymore.
Maybe not.
Oh,
Maddie, I can promise you that it maybe at the next race somebody will come up and say, "Yeah, I fucking hate those fajitas."
They will. They will.
Remember how I said if you race long enough, people are going to hate you?
What are the odds?
Remember how I said if I remember
very, very high.
people are going to hate you, this is going to cause the hatred because Americans
This-
love fajitas.
You're right.
My complete dislike for fajitas. Courtney bought me a shirt that says "I heart fajitas." So like this has been an ongoing thing. I'll get you one, and then we'll put like a X over one of those circle deals with the line through it, like
Maddie.
dare.
People will scream shake and bake at Erica just because she's my sister. You will get people next week. I guarantee you in Phoenix saying something about fajitas. You will have at least 3.
I'm looking forward to that. Maybe they'll even bring some fajitas.
So,
And then listen. But what you do when they bring them is you take them from them, walk to the closest trash can, hand the plate back.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe I'll bring him to you, Lyle, and you can do that.
Oh, I will. That's or just
Carlisle. That's pretty
just
good.
have somebody call me. I'll walk
Stop
over.
it. That is hilarious.
We're going to do that. You can have a fajita for a mascot. Me and Courtney just lost.
we're done. We're over.
Okay.
Oh, this has been the best night ever.
Move on from this disaster. Maddie, tell us what is up next for you besides obviously Phoenix next week. And where you want to thank any sponsors? You got anybody that you need to yell at or cuss out?
What's up next except for Phoenix? Or other
Yeah, like what you got? You got any cool deals? You're going to make your own movie? Yeah.
I got some cool stuff going on. I'm going to Pomona. My sister's running Super Combo Top Dragster at I want to say the first divisional, at least in a long time, but maybe ever at Pomona. So I'm going to get home midnight on Wednesday, and I'll drive up either Thursday or Friday and go watch her run. So I'm really looking forward to that. That's going to be super cool. And then we're actually going to do a crossover with the High Limit Series in Phoenix before the National. So that'll be cool.
Guess who is the host of that video?
Are you? Oh, good. Oh my gosh, it's going to be so fun. Good. Okay, good. Yes.
When is that?
Wednesday.
Before Phoenix. And then people to thank, of course, Ron Capps for giving me this amazing opportunity. I'm just loving it. Loving it. But Carlisle Tools, obviously, it wouldn't have been possible without Carlisle Tools, and they took a chance. They took a complete chance on me. Like they saw footage of me, how I was in the funny car and what I did previously. But, for the past 2 years, Ron Capps told him this is who I want to drive, and they believed in from the start. And, I really didn't have many runs under my belt, and they believed in me from the beginning, from the get-go. And, that's just been huge. And from what I heard, everybody at headquarters was really, really pumped after this weekend. And that was just so exciting for me. They all stuck their neck outs for myself and Ron Capps in this race car. And so to be able to do that the first weekend out was just so cool. And obviously Monster Energy jumping on board, that was during
the race. That's pretty cool.
Yes. I mean, we had it like approved, and we were putting stickers on 15 minutes before we pulled out of the pit. I was getting my suit on, and I'm like, we were figuring out where we're going to put everything. And, so it was so cool to be able to say that they really, got on board, like from the first run of my rookie season. They, they're going to be through it. They're here from the start. And it was great to have Casey from Monster Energy there the whole weekend. There's so many people I could thank that make this possible. We don't have enough time to go through, each and every one I want to thank. But I mean, it's just been amazing opportunity for Carlisle Monster, Ron Capps Motorsports, and I can't wait for the rest of the season.
It's gonna be so
Neither
good.
can I cannot wait to watch this ride you're on, girl.
It's gonna be good.
Yes,
Thank
yes.
you for coming on Shake and Bake Show. You're welcome anytime. I'm sure that we'll get some fajita, some anti-fajita memorabilia for sale soon. And looking forward to seeing you in Phoenix.
Thank you very much. Thanks, guys. We'll see you in Phoenix.
Good to see you, Maddie.
See you,
Appreciate
Maddie.
it.
Unreal.
That was awesome, except for the feed.
Fuck you. You
Yeah.
know, that's chicken shit.
I think y'all planned that ahead
If
of
she
time.
just said I love fajitas, y'all be I fucking told you.
It would just be normal. We would just be like, yep, we got
Yeah,
the
but like for that to be the one to change
That's
the
a
way it
win.
goes, it is a win. So
Not a lot of race car drivers I'm a fan of. I'm a fan of them. It's going to be fun to watch.
I'm buying a shirt next week. I'm officially on board.
Davey, real quick before we get off, what are your thoughts on parity in NHRA Pro Mod right now?
I think it's out of bounds, but again, I try not to comment. So, like, I normally will offer opinion when I have the fastest of my combination, which I have for a long time. We didn't make the quickest screw run in Gainesville, so I don't really talk about it a lot because I'm not running as good as we should. It looks pretty shiny. We've had those things on the dyno, and they're very shiny. They're always going to stand out when the track's not as good. So it's always going to look a lot better because of the inherent loose torque converter that you guys have to run to run good. So like just like on race day in World Series of Pro Mod, the track gets slick. The centrifugals look like they're way out here. They're not way out there, but I do think they're pretty shiny. To come out with a new supercharger by two different manufacturers and go to the final in the first race is pretty shiny, but we won't really know till we see it run in some more conditions, till we see it. We need to get a good air race and a good track race. And the Roots cars ran very well. They went, Janice went 70 with a 9. I thought that was a great run.
I think ran really good to the middle split.
Ran really good to the middle. Stervinos made a killer run, qualified number 1 with a 68, with a screw car. So I believe there'll need to be some adjustment. Do I think there needs to be a lot of knee jerk? No, I think just let's run them and see. Let's just run them and see. What do you think? I mean, what does your crew chief tell you? What do y'all think?
Well, I heard some rumblings about some displeasures with the centrifugal rules. One thing you can't deny is we ran really good early. I didn't make a single run slower than 940. I went 929, 928 a couple times, stayed in the mid 930s, and wasn't necessarily always the fastest to the middle. I was low every round on race day. We went 69 on Saturday night. But again, I do agree that I think that we're going to have to see them run in some different conditions and to kind of know whether it's truly way out of bounds or if, we were just hit it right. I think it's a little early to know.
I had a bunch of people talk about the 60 foot to me this weekend, quit bitching about the centrifugals. Like you got a 60 foot with them. And I think there's a lot of people that don't understand that like we can't run the same rear gear as you guys. So everybody's like, why is the screw not 60 foot? Well, it has no power and it can't run the rear gear. So if they did any parity, I hope they don't try to slow you guys down. Like I like the class being faster. I want to just leave them fast. Give the screw a 429. That way everybody's running the same rear gear with that thing or something if they end up doing that. But one good thing is that I can promise you is that the people that are looking at the rules are much more technical than they've ever been. They look at splits. They look at all of the data. I think in the past, especially when I had a Roots blower, they legislated my combination completely out of competition for 2 years. I think we're past that. I think they're looking at numbers and facts. If something needs to be done, they'll do it. I don't think anything's way out of bounds.
What do y'all weigh?
Depending on the valve size, we're between 26, 80. If you have if you have a big valve and an old Camaro, you're 2680. If you have a small valve, you're 55. And then the new model Camaros are 2705. So that you have that range. And then there's weight breaks for like the 71 Mach 1 gets to be 20 pounds lighter. So, but like an average car, your body style cars is between 2655 and 2685, depending on valve size. I don't even know what this centrifugal weighs. What is that thing?
2695.
Right. Yeah. So pretty close. Y'all are a little heavier, but you get a little more gear.
And I'm assuming a new model Camaro with my combo would be a little heavier than that.
15. Well, it'd be 30 heavier than you because you get 15 off for a 67, 8, or 9, and it's a 15-pound penalty. So there's a 30-pound swing between the new Camaro and the 68, and there needs to be.
Dang, that would be heavy.
I think that's one of the best rules we've ever had is body style rules. I love old cars, and it makes it where you can take an old car like ours and go out and run okay with it. You know, 5 years ago, you couldn't do that. You just got killed by every new Camaro that showed up. So it's going to be exciting to see. I would love to. The screw car, what I can tell you is it's getting to be like the turbo combination was back in the day. It's a really bastard combination. It's got way too big a blower, turning way too slow with no rear gear, and it's pretty difficult to race and run fast. Anytime you got way more power than you're supposed to have, and they reel it back with all these things, it does hurt it. We're selling nothing but centrifugal engines right now. So every engine we're building in the engine room is a centrifugal. So the evidently some people see some advantage over there.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, we got Rob Flynn in the house. What up? Damn right.
Damn right.
I have about 8% left on my computer. I'm just
All right.
saying.
Well, that's because the fajita problem just wiped your battery.
It did. It just said that. And apparently there's we're watching Ryan Hall on this other screen, really bad weather coming towards Wynnewood and Pauls Valley and even Fort Worth down there. So everybody, all our Southern friends, y'all stay safe tonight. There's Schneider.
Hunker down. Hunker down.
Before we go, we got to talk about some stickers.
Oh, yeah.
Molly told me that we have some stuff for sale. I don't know what it is. There's a picture of it.
Yeah, Shake and Bake stickers.
Oh, Shake and Bake stickers available at
KillingTimeRacing.net.
KillingTimeRacing.net.
Yes.
Don't we have something else that we just released?
So she said it is, let's see. Oh, under decals and other merch. And the Shake and Bake decals are $5 hairs right now.
Shake and Bake. Get your Shake and Bake merchandise. Nothing will make you look cooler at the Mexican joint when you're in there enjoying some fajitas than a Shake and Bake sticker on your pickup truck. Just remember.
And Molly will be shipping these personally.
With love.
With some red love.
Red love.
It's why I chose the old vodka soda instead of the red wine tonight for you.
Oh.
Someone posted in the comments that they didn't recognize you without purple teeth.
Yeah, well, sometimes you got to switch it up. And the week in between, I got really red wine drunk, like too much. You can't drink in abundance. And I got caught up in a situation with a bunch of old white guys at a golf course. And
things got out of control.
It'll hurt you. It'll hurt you for a little while.
Oh, man.
So, anyway, that was a great show. Everybody just watch Maddi Gordon.
It's going to be great. Thank all of you for watching. Our next show will be in 2 weeks where you'll get to see me in my trophy from Phoenix. And Lyle, too, will be there. And we'll have some fajitas. And Courtney will probably be hanging around, too.
I'll probably be there.
All right, fools.
I'll be in Fort Worth that night.
Fort Worth at the Stockyards. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you all in 2 weeks. Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Shake it back! Does that feel good? Yeah.